welcome to our panel discussion on women and body image issues, a part of WiP's Women's Day series. Thank you so much for joining in and agreeing to share your stories here. So, body image issues have possibly existed for as long as humans have. And, most species, I think the mates are chosen basis certain biological characteristics. And all of that we understand is natural. But as humans and as thinking beings, I don't see why we tend to inflict this pain of being physically perfect. And even though we are now a more inclusive society today, we still struggle with judgmental issues. And I would here, like to quote a certain author called Toni Morrison. She's an American celebrated author. No, she's no more now. She was a Black author. And she really said a very beautiful quote, which says, the function of freedom is to free someone else. And to me, that kind of translates into something that if we are not bondage to a particular way of life or an ideology, then let's tell our stories and let's risk freeing the others. So the objective of this panel discussion really, women, is that we share our stories and, and try and free whoever's listening to us through these stories and experiences. Okay. So with that in context, I would love to get to know you all. I mean, while I know you all informally, it would be great if you could introduce yourselves here with the short one line, which says, I'm a woman who, after your formal introductions. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm an author, I'm a watercolorist, and I'm also a woman who's fiercely independent and someone who's a lifelong learner.
Thank you, Leena. Thank you so much for having us all here today, especially, since it's the first week of the Women's Day celebrations. And I am Ranjana, and I am an author. I am a content creator. I am a motivational speaker. And I'm a woman who loves to read, loves nature, and who is also in love with her body.
Hi, my name is Sarah. I am a mother of two. I love music. I'm a sports enthusiast. I'm a foodie, and I'm a retired cook because I don't like cooking. And I'm a woman who loves kids. And that's why I'm in a very happy profession where I deal with kids, because I am, like Leena said, I love learning. And I think when you impart something, you learn more.
Hi, I'm Supriya, Kamath, and I'm a co-founder of Anuradha. It's my brand, which is close and dear to us because it's my mother's name, and she's been an inspiration for us. And I'm a lifelong learner is what I can say, because forever I'm learning something new.
Hi, I'm Baishali. Thanks everybody. Thanks WiP to have invited me to this panel. I'm a woman who loves to travel. That's my first and foremost passion in life. And then besides that, as Sarah was saying, I love kids as well. But unfortunately, no kids of my own. But then there is not a single child on the road that goes without getting pampered or recognized by me. Even if it's a wink of eye like that, I do that with any kid on the road so that the kid responds, because they tend to quickly observe.
Like I said, we're here to share our stories. And Sarah, I would like to start with you. You said you're a sports person as well. And, so how about you starting with, how your opinion or how you feel about your body? What is the relationship that you have with your body? And if you could tell us a little about the relationship you share with your body.
Yeah. The relationship I share with my body, I would say, is very intimate, very close, because I'm very aware of my body. I mean, be it refluxes, be it with the internal stuff as well. I'm very close. Most of us are, in fact, the tit for tat happens. Okay, the more you strain your body, the more you put in. You falter in putting things inside your body retaliates. But I think I'm very aware. I'm very closely in touch, and hence I try and always try and maintain that thing that, okay, I'm gone overboard here. I know now I need to do this. So I think I'm proud also about it, because I think I've noticed most people they are not aware. And I think it is very important to be aware, because awareness brings a lot of gratitude as well. And that's how you'll even take care of this gift. I am a very Indian brown color child. So that's how I have grown with. So I have got these lovely comments from every probably person around me, including probably, and because I had siblings, my brother is on the fairer side, and I've always had these issues. But I think I had this beautiful gift. I would really be very grateful that I never dwelled on this. So I think sports was something that put me away from all these talks. I think, yeah, so that is one thing I can give credit to. So I always had these bruised knees, and, the typical tomboy thing. I was also called a tomboy in school, for which my mother was pretty conservative. And she's like, I know you as a girl. I don't know what is this tomboy. How come they're calling you tomboy? So, I mean, in sure innocent, she has asked me this question. I'm so worried that the teachers call you a tomboy. So I hope I answered your question, yeah, Supriya. I hate working out. Trust me, I hate working out. I like music, so you all switch on the music and you'll see me dancing everywhere. But I don't like exercising. I don't work out. I don't do anything. So that's another different side of me.
So Priya, if I may add, I mean, I'm into sports also, but what I think, what sport does do to you is it inculcates a certain discipline in you. And you know that, you can do something only if you are respectful towards your body. And if it means, eating the right things, working out, keeping your muscles in shape, then I think that's why, sports people do have this advantage of being in better condition. I would say, I wouldn't say in better shape, but definitely in better condition, because that's something that gets mentally ingrained.
Absolutely.
So even then, so introduction of sport very early into a child's life, I think, goes a long way in making you confident also about your body and how you treat it.
So if they're able to focus on what is it that their body can do for them, and what is it their body does for them every day, it will help in, making sure that you're feeling proud of your body and happy with what you have already. So I just wanted to add that, sports kind of and workout and stuff kind of does that to you, because you automatically view your body as what it can do more than what it looks like. So that kind of helps. That's the reason why I was trying to just kind of figure if, you all can also come towards, or rather share the sort of same feeling that I had. So that's why I thought, let me, yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah. But Sarah mentioned certain. You mentioned that you were the typical brown Indian child, and your brother was fair, and a lot of these things stem, in our childhood when somebody makes us aware of it. So I would like to know, Baishali, your story. Were there any childhood, stories that you have to share with us with regards to body image and how you were made to feel as a child?
Well, as a child, none of you would believe that I was hardly around 40 odd kgs till about my 10th standard, because I used to play hockey in school, in fact, till college as well. And I also was a sports person till college level. After that, slowly I lost that priority, that what do you call, then studies became important. And my college was around 50 kilometers from the main heart of the city in Chennai. I don't know if how many people, Supriya, are you aware of Chennai? I don't know. But what happens is I used to travel to Madras Christian College in the local train. So getting up early in the morning, my mom making my khana, and then I used to ride a bike to the closest railway station, park it there, then travel that entire stretch to college, and from there walk it down till one corner of it is a 365-acre campus, Madras Christian College. It's a very old college. So, and my zoology department used to be in one corner and the main gate in the other corner. So walking that entire stretch also kept me fit to a great extent. But then slowly with what do you call, the lifestyle changing, as Supriya said, that we had our priorities changing. And now all the more what happens is that though from the morning my father used to say that you are walking 2 kilometers within the house itself, because what I'm doing, running from this room to that room, from the kitchen, from that bedroom, getting this done, and like I cook myself even till date. I have a maid who helps chop, clean everything. But early in the morning, I wake up by 6:15. I'm into the kitchen, cooking till about 8:15, 8:30 for the household, for both lunch, dinner, breakfast, everything. Pack my food, and then I leave off home by 8:30 to 8:40 max, because 9 a.m. sharp is my reporting time. So I'm really drained out of energy that now, even if I think how I used to maintain that figure when I was dancing and into sports, and what I'm maintaining today is hell and heaven. I really don't know what I'm going to do about it, but I this much I realize it is hell and heaven. And with being on the flabbier side with a knee pain, so it becomes difficult for me. I do understand I need to do something to reduce my weight, but it is almost a vicious cycle, because
Hmm.
of my knee pain. I'm not able to walk much. If I walk much, my knee pain increases. So it's sort of a vicious cycle. But you go to a doctor, you go to what do you call any dietitian, the first thing they'll say, walk, walk, walk. That's the only thing they can say. You need to walk. But I really am not finding an opportunity. These are the honest reasons for it. At the moment, that is for as far as current health that I'm maintaining. But yes, that much I can say is that what I do is that with this running around, and 100 kgs is I've hit a century already. This is my weight at the moment, but then there is nothing that stops me from doing anything or any household activity. Morning I cook, then I attend office, I come back by 7:38 after picking up some grocery, coming back home, setting them right, and then serving dinner for the family, and then going to bed. Everything is on 365 days, at best 1 or 2 days off, or maybe whenever I'm traveling. That's all. But I'm able to manage it all right so far.
Ranjana, I would like to hear from you on, any childhood stories that you have which made you conscious of your body parts. Do you have any such stories? We'd love to hear.
Yes, okay. So I can start from, see, initially, I say when I was I was a teenager, I was okay. I mean, weight wise, I was fine. And but then, later I turned chubby and slowly I started gaining weight. But what happens is when that happens, I think there is lack of sensitivity amongst all of us because your parents, your relatives, your people outside, everybody will comment. There'll be people on the road who look at you and start laughing. And it's hurtful. It makes you bitter, it makes you cynical. And so I there was a stage when I did not want to step out of the house. I would just stay indoors. I wouldn't meet people because I knew that they would be laughing at me because I could see it. There's a sneer on the face, or they'll just say something, "Teri shaadi nahi hogi," or something like that, why you are so fat. I mean, it's like, people, I felt that, I've seen that लोग ऐसे ही बोलते हैं, that's how they comment. ये काला है, ये छोटा है, ये पतला है, ये इसको ऐसे है, and if somebody falls, they will laugh. I mean, that sensitivity is not there, which should be there with us because we are the best creation of God. So हमारे में तो होना चाहिए ना. If not, if you look at the animals and plants, they all look so beautiful. I'm sure they don't laugh at each other, but we are doing it. And I think that really made me just lock myself in the house. I would have an excuse for not stepping out. And so I started reading. I would read a lot. I don't know how much I read. I must have read the entire library. I mean, all the books in the library. And I read so much that then I started writing. Probably all my emotions probably went to that paper. And so I started writing early because of that. And, but I think the last 1 decade is the time when I've really started loving my body because I feel, that's probably the most prized possession that is with me, and it's going to stay with me till the last breath. So this is my best friend. So I said, forget about people, forget about the world. I should be loving myself because if I don't love myself, nobody's going to love me. Nobody's going to respect my body if I don't do it. So I think that changed.
I would love to hear stories from, maybe Supriya, Sarah, Baishali, any more such stories.
Summer vacation ho, to I will be like a nice toast, brown toast, which is crisp to the core because I'll be in the sun from morning to evening if my mother lets me play. And playing was extremely important. Gaon gaye, so it's even worse because you're always out. So one day I came back home, obviously from my this, and one auntie was talking to my mother. It's my mother's colleague. So, अच्छा है आपको एक लड़का और एक लड़की है. My sister is the girly girl, very nicely dressed up, neat and tidy, dressed up in frocks, and I was in shorts and unkempt and dirty and stuff like that. And I was shocked. You know, that was like shocking for me because I know I'm a girl, right? And I'm like, Mommy, why did she say? And I was thinking there's another boy I'm not aware of or what happened. I don't know because I just overheard a conversation. So then I realized it has got to be me because she said that you have one son and one daughter, and the older one is your son. And I was like very upset. I said, Mom, do I look like a boy? You know, you cut my hair. That is the reason why everybody thinks I'm a boy. Why do you cut my hair? I don't want you to cut my hair. And so my mom is like, sat me down and she said, see, look, forget what others are saying. You got such pretty eyes. You got such nice hands. Basically, what she tried to do is at that point of time, assuage uh, I was dejected. Like, you know, suddenly I felt like I was the ugly duckling in the house. You know, suddenly I felt like, God, they actually thought I was a boy. They didn't even think I'm a girl. So I felt very upset at that. You know, that it was just a thing I overheard. It's not something which was directly told to me, but it was so upsetting. It just made me feel very bad, and I was literally crying, and my mother made me kind of feel better about myself. Now that I think about it, it probably I wouldn't have worried about it much now at this point of time if people tell me. Like for instance, I've learned swimming now, and there are a lot of people who are telling me, "Yaar, kali ho rahi hai." I said, I don't care. I'm going to swim because it makes me feel good. So, but that time it made a difference because you know it is something which you never heard. My mother did not judge me; somebody else did, right? So it was something like that's the perception people had built about me, and it was very upsetting. So had my mother not kind of assuaged my feeling at that time or made me feel better about myself or at least tell me that I am loved irrespective of what because she loves me, I would have probably grown up to be a different individual. I feel that now because it makes a lot of difference what you feed onto your child. Because I also see some people tell their children, "Arey nahi, dhoop mein mat ja, kali ho jayegi." Means you're telling the child that you're not supposed to do what a child is doing. The child is playing is natural. Child likes to play in the sun, rain, whatever is natural, and you're telling the child that this is not okay. This is where you look bad. If you look Kali, you are bad. That means you're already telling the child, you're building up these perceptions, you're building up some, you can say, notions for the child, what the child is going to carry, you know, ahead. So if that is kind of, I feel, not built for a child in the beginning itself.
What I think what you're saying here is, depending on the activity that a child indulges in, usko ladka ya ladki bana dete hain. Like you were playing in the sun. I mean, there's no
Yeah.
reason ki wo ladka ya ladki nahi khel sakti. I mean, these are those biases that we have, and then that is what really upset you so much. And let me just tell you, my daughter is just this. She is exactly this. But I must relate a story here, and. My father's 75, like a couple of years ago, we celebrated his 75th birthday. And I noticed he wouldn't smile with his mouth open, he would always ऐसे करके हंसते थे. And I would say, Papa, show your teeth and smile. You look better when your teeth is showing. And he was like, no, I have such big teeth. And he is 75, okay? And it struck me then that even at the age of 75, somebody is so image conscious that, I don't look nice in a picture because my teeth are showing and they're big. And you won't believe it. What happened that day is my daughter has big teeth. She's very tiny for her age. She's 12, but she's not hit puberty. She's very short. And so her teeth are a little big for her face right now. Of course, I'm sure when she grows up, it'll all level up. And I remember telling her, Linku, tere dant thode bade. And, I heard my dad that day. And I stopped myself and I said, I'm guilty of doing the same to my child. And and telling her, ki tere dant bade. And you won't believe it. That day, I just stopped. And she would, sometimes say, Mama, my smile in this doesn't look good. And I said, no, you look fine, because I didn't want her to carry that for another 70 years,
That's very good. Very
yeah,
good.
my teeth are like this. So that's another thing. I mean, how conscious we are even, to whatever age. So yeah, but I again, this brings me to another issue. Like my dad, of course, is a man, and he still had this issue that I don't look so good in a picture. So what do you ladies think? Is this whole thing about having the perfect body only a women thing, or are men as affected? And if they are, how much so? I would love to throw that open for discussion. Any views,
Men
Sarah,
definitely,
Baishali,
definitely,
Ranjana?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Men definitely, because I have seen men who are very conscious about either their height or
Hmm.
they're conscious if they're too slim, they will say we are बहुत पतले हैं. We're too slim or too tall or too short. So that they
Uh,
definitely.
yeah, I think men relate these issues directly with being masculine or muscular. I think it goes that line. Whereas women, I think it is a vanity factor. Where probably it's only about external, because it is carried forward since generations that beauty and body, a certain type of a body, a certain type of a color, and all this is associated with a women's thing. So I think that is the difference here. But definitely, even men, when it comes to many issues, I think meat, color, height, and leanness. However, I think they directly, kind of incline that towards their macho image of theirs. That's how I feel, in my opinion.
So there is this thing which I wanted to talk about how people kind of think it's okay to tell you look a certain way. So this is a story which my friend was narrating to me. She's like, I was very upset today. I was like, "Wait, what happened?" She's like, I went for a wedding. I was looking really good and I felt so good about myself. And I go and there's this one uncle and he's standing there and he's telling me, अरे आप तो फैलते ही जा रहे हो और कितना फैलोगे.
Oh my
She's
God.
My
like, I
God.
felt so bad, and it was the entrance. I'm thinking, I'm feeling so great about myself. And this uncle tells me, and then I look at him. He's like a pot-bellied uncle. His buttons are splitting on his stomach, and he has the guts to tell me that I'm not looking good. But Supu, what it did is, I got irritated with him. But at the same time, what it did to me is that I felt bad throughout the function. I was just, as good that I felt about myself when I started off. And when I entered and this happened, and after throughout the function, I was thinking, हाँ मेरा ये मोटा है, मेरा वो मोटा है. She's like, I was just not able to concentrate. I was sitting with my stomach in, and I was trying not to eat too much, and I was thinking what I should eat. And she's like, I was just wanting to have fun, and I just didn't.
We in our homes have our aunts, our uncles, our moms, sometimes our dads, telling us that you don't look fine, or there's something not right or not perfect about you. And I think we've all had those stories. So I want to know if I would like more of those stories to come out, really, because that's what we can change in our homes.
Yeah, I'll tell you, as a kid, I think I was barely in grade one. I don't know. I think I was punished for something. So I was standing and I overheard my class teacher and another teacher having a conversation, wherein my class teacher is saying, I know her parents. Her mom is so fair. Her brother is so fair. The dad is also relatively quite of a lighter color. I don't know how come she's so dark. This is how I got. Now, obviously, because how Supriya said, I was always the outdoor child and always bruised and this and that. And I heard that. Lucky me that I never kind of drooled over something, and sports has always kept me so busy with everything. Also, my father's been a very uh, a major part of confidence comes from him, because sports may I used to be like, most of the things I would probably come first and whatever, and studies may it would be maybe that average like 60%. So he used to usually, my daughter, she's like first class somewhere, first. So and I may be first, so he used to mean first class. So confidence always was there. I have my father who accepts me the way I am. During my childhood, which is gone all. Now I was pregnant for the first time. The first time, my bacha was a boy, and during my pregnancy, I had these girdles of, you have this necklace. I had this pigmentation around. Every next person comes, and I was pretty young also, because most of my friends, I was 26 when I delivered my first baby, and most of my friends were not even married. So people used to come to me like, "Hey, what is this? What is this?" Everyone. Now that happened. I delivered a baby, and my baby was extremely fair. I had my luckily both my children are fair, and there are people from my society who have come. Sarah ko gora bacha hua hai. They have come to see the gora bacha. Can you even imagine going through this? Gone through all this shit. And then I come to know someone is coming to see a Gora Bacha. I've heard that Sarah has a Gora Bacha and they're come to see.
So
This is the second person.
how do you respond to this, Sarah? What do you
No,
say?
this no, this I come to know from someone else. So I will not.
Uh-huh.
If I had to have something like what Supriya said, I think we should voice our opinion. I like how she
Absolutely.
said, I have seen myself in the mirror, and you have said this to me. It is feeling a little bad. Do not do this to someone else. The moment we voice our
Absolutely.
opinion, I think you will put your boundaries very straight. That person also will think even once before speaking to someone else.
Yeah.
And the third story is quite hilarious, I must say. My daughter is again a very fair, cute little doll when she was little. Now she's almost my height, though she's 10 years old. She was a cute girl, and we had this in my in-laws place. We had this annual function, and I did not dress up for that. I had oil in my head, pura chappat karke, and I was like, typically, those casual clothes I've gone. But obviously with my daughter, I had dressed her up very well. She's all dolled up. Some stage function is going on, and my child is gone towards the stage. The host is like, yeah, बेटी ये तो करीना कपूर है, हेलो अच्छा जरा देख सकते हैं करीना कपूर की मम्मी कौन है. I was like, wow,
Okay.
now. The moment I stood, he just ignored me to the core. I mean, he just said, ha, okay, and he continued. And I
Gosh.
laughed. I laughed so loudly. I'm telling you, Leena, because this doesn't bother me at all now. I mean, people have these issues like, yeah, Kareena Kapoor hai, to pata nahi kaun si badi poor ki pari aayegi as the mother. They must have thought, he must have thought, oh, let me take over my eyes or something. I don't know what did he think. But the moment he saw me, he was like, oh, my dreams are shattered types. But then I had a laugh, and I love this story of mine. And I think we should be doing this because I have accepted myself the way I am. I'm extremely proud of how I am, irrespective of whatever. So these are some stories I wanted to tell. And yes, that's
Thanks. Thank you. Yeah, Supriya.
So adding to a story where, I mean, people talk about stuff, right? So when COVID started, we wanted to present our brand. I have a sari brand. So we wanted to present our brand and we didn't know how best we can, prevent others from, infecting the clothes because, COVID and you couldn't trust anybody. So we decided I will wear the clothes and I will display it and we will be very careful with it because it's your own brand. You're extremely careful with your stuff. So I started wearing saris. I get a call from an auntie, unsolicited call. कैसी है? मैंने देखा फोटो बहुत अच्छे लग रहे हैं. एक बात बताऊं, थोड़ा सा वेट कम कर देगी ना और अच्छे लगेंगे फोटो. थोड़ा सा ना ऐसा बीच में ऐसा ड्रम जैसी लग रही है. I'm like, 1 minute I'm like, okay, you call me up after ages, you come to talk to me just to tell me I'm looking like a drum. I said, auntie, thank you so much. So I wrote the story that, this is where I put up a picture and this is what I got a comment. So I realized a lot of women wrote back to me, you know what, Supriya, because you're wearing the sari, I'm confident I can wear it and I can carry it off. So looking at you, it's refreshing. I know that I'll be able to carry it off when they see somebody who's able to confidently put themselves forward. So I think we women should kind of support other women and, bring them forward with us because that's kind of the only way we can probably deal with our issues collectively.
Yeah,
I would
Baishali.
like to add here, Supriya, I must say how I keep admiring your posts on Facebook, and I'm dedicatedly, you will find me liking or loving the way you carry yourself in your saris. I really love them all, believe me. No one dare come and talk to me anything to do with my physical structure because of the what you call the way I carry myself at workplace or otherwise also.
If we accept ourselves however
Yeah.
we are, right? I think, I mean, in your case, like you said, people don't dare to comment because they know that you're a confident woman. No matter, how you look, you are fine with it. And there is so many other things that drive that confidence in you, right? The fact that you're financially independent and that you have a great personality, and then these body image issues really don't matter. So I think you brought out something really beautiful.
Sorry
Thanks.
to interrupt. And believe me, I give a steep competition to women in my office who are at least a decade younger to me and at least 15 to 20 kgs lightweighter than me. I give them a steep competition because they don't do half the jobs that I do from morning to night. When see women keep talking, everybody keeps talking. So when we discuss, they themselves say, Madam, how do you manage to do all this? But they themselves, I give them a very steep competition. So that is all the more reason that no one dare comes and tells me anything about my physics. So,
Yeah.
so that way it has been accepted, and so all the more the confidence level builds up. It's all a matter of confidence also.
But my nose was always an issue because everybody in my family has that typical straight, that, it's not Roman really, but it's a very good straight nose. And they would wonder, and they would say, iska naak ekdam chapta hai, igloo jaisa hai, and what's wrong with your nose? Where did you get it from? And right through, I remember even when I was 6 or 7, my aunts would come and pull my nose saying, ye bridge ko tum, pull up your bridge, and your bones are soft right now. For all you know, you'll have a straight nose as you grow. So, and I grew up with this, with this feeling that, my face is not perfect. I'm not pretty. And had I a great nose, there's everything else is really nice about me. And I wish I had a great nose. And believe me, I had this feeling right till the time I came into college, and I met a few of my friends, including my husband today. And the first thing he told me is, you have such a cute nose. It's like, it's like those PG Woodhouse heroines who have that slight upturned, that slight upturn at the end, and it's so cute. And that's the first thing he told about me. And I was like, look at the difference in perspective. And had somebody told me that when I was younger, I would have been, I wouldn't say a lot more confident, but I would have not felt so inadequate as I did in those times. Yeah, so that was like my own story of having this issue with a certain body part. And my daughter constantly faces this. There is this lady in her school that tells her, "Aap girls bathroom mein kyun ja rahe ho? Aap, aapko udhar jana." And it happened twice. And then I said, if this happens again, and she's gone and told that auntie in school that, I'm a girl, I'm not a boy. I look like one, but I'm and yet that woman continues to do this. So I kind of think that, and it's a woman, right? So I don't know why we women sometimes don't understand that, understand what we're doing to these youngsters, these young children. We have reached an age where we can justify, and we have this inner confidence to say it doesn't matter. But at that young age, when we are so impressionable, I see a lot of us doing it. Sometimes we are guilty. Like I said, I'm guilty of telling my daughter a couple of times before it struck me that my dad felt that way, that she had big teeth. I know we are not perfect, but I just hope that through this discussion, we start thinking about all the other things that we sometimes do subconsciously without really applying ourselves to it. Are we guilty of it somewhere ourselves?
There is a 3-second rule that I follow. If you find something about someone that they cannot change in 3 seconds, then don't comment on it.
That's a good one.
The fact that I'm sharing my story, it has stemmed from my childhood and has remained, it has scarred me then. I have managed not to dwell on it. It was a choice. However, now I think with children, we need to tell them that every body is beautiful. So everybody, including yours, and you have to keep, these positive affirmations. We need to keep telling them that you need to keep saying that I trust my body, and my body has brought me this long, and that I love my body the way it is. I am perfect in my imperfections. There are so many quotes, and we follow this so much in my new initiative that I do. I'm a co-founder of blah blah blah, so we are into imparting life skills with kids. So we've had this session I want to share, where we were talking about being real and being perfect. So how much we strive to be perfect, and how much we don't understand what reality and vulnerability can actually bring out the best in you. So there were girls who actually shared, in the session, rather than an online session always, because we look at global. So there were girls of 10, 11, and 12 sharing body issues where they have been physically abused. They have these issues and then they have also shared it with their parents. But then some of the parents have shown the concern, but there has not been a solution to it. And that's why they raised this here. And how strongly we said that no is a sentence by itself. You need to go ahead, tell them to stop, scream. You need to understand.
Do you think that social media, now that we have such an avalanche of social media with us, do you think that kind of affects the way we perceive, or rather we want ourselves to be seen, or the way the body issues, basically our body image issues, does it kind of stem from there?
Yes, they definitely do. I think, yeah, any kind of media, any kind of this, not only to children, I think even as adults, let's face the facts, we do. We would want a Deepika Padukone like sari or a body. I'm sure everyone of us wants and what you are. That is what I'm saying. The realistic part and what you're looking at is what needs to be very clear. We need to be very comfortable with our bodies, like how Vaishali said. No one can dare talk to her. I mean, she has that positive attitude. Excuse me, I'm very comfortable in what I am. So that body, I mean, that has to be instilled in kids these days, irrespective of whether they're short, they're tall, they're thin, they're fat. That psychological safety comes from home. That non-judgmental space comes from home. So if they have that here, I think they will practice this outside as well. So I think that is very important. That's how in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd like to say this, that social media is a double-edged sword. Uh, uh, I see a lot of acceptance of even disabilities on social media. So it's how you look at it really. And these days, autism or ADHD, it's all okay, and people are getting to know it. Depression. I think thanks to social media, there's a lot more awareness as well. So I don't think we can really make social media the villain. But like Sarah said, if they're counseled at home, of course, you will watch a lot of things. But if you're counseled at home saying this is what you need to take in, and this is what you need to know that it's perfect and it's not real, I think it's something that we could do as parents or as relatives. But yeah, social media, as always, media plays a certain role in our lives. It's only up to us as to what we accept and what we push out.
My body, my legs won me my first race. Generous compliments, my years embraced. My hands multitask all day. My eyes talk even when I have nothing to say. Multiple milestones together we have met. Helping me get stronger was your only target. My brain and heart are a unique mixture of my being. Thank you, my body, for you are so giving.
Lovely.
Great.
Thank you. Thanks
Can
for
I?
sharing. Yeah,
I've also written something, I've written a couple of lines. So my body, my most priceless possession. I'm so proud of you for staying with me through the ups and downs of life. I love you, respect you, and I'm grateful for you as you embrace my soul and give it your beautiful shape.
thanks. Lovely, Ranjana.
Thank you.
Supriya, Baishali, yeah.
I would like to see something which it is not my own thing, but I really thought it was very beautiful. And I don't know whether it was Sri Ravi Shankar or Sadhguru who told this, that your main home or the only home which is yours is your body, because we are essentially a soul and energy, and this is your home. So your first duty is towards this home which you're going to live in, because that, irrespective of your relatives, your family, your life cycle, your home, whatever that you carry lives with you or not in this life, this is what you live with. So take care of this first, because this is your home.
Before we were starting, I was telling my mother that this is the discussion that we're going to have. She says, yeah, so it's, the body is a God's creation. So it is beautiful. It has to be beautiful. इसमें क्या discussion है?
Back, he said, if you can't make time for health, you'll make time for illness. And that really, struck me really hard, that, yeah, I will probably end up in a hospital bed if I don't make time right now for my health. So that was also very powerful. And I'm always reminded of this deer wala story, jiske bahut beautiful antlers the, and it was so proud, and it would look at its reflection in the pond and say, oh, I have such beautiful antlers. And it's the antlers that got it into trouble. And then the legs, which were so spindly and skinny, and it ran on those legs, and it saved itself from the tiger. And then the deer realized that he needed to be grateful for every body part, no matter how it was. So yeah, Supriya.
So I just remember this thing which I thought I should share, which would help women in a large way. There was this one, she's a motivational speaker who had told that what women should do to love themselves the way they are is every day in the morning, strip yourself nude, look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, I love you the way you are. I love the whole of you the way you are. And good things what you, and first few things we should tell about yourself is what you think is excellent about yourself, what you feel good about yourself when you look at yourself in the mirror. And then if you feel that there are parts which you don't like about yourself, you should say, I see this, I feel I don't like this about this, but I still love you for what you are. And that kind of, whether you can do it in your homes or no, whether you can strip or not, but looking at yourself the first thing in the morning in the mirror and telling yourself that you love yourself the way you are, and telling yourself the good points about yourself which you like, I think it kind of will help women with, dealing with body image issues which they have.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for having us. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. It was a pleasure being with such wonderful women and having such a great discussion. Thank you and wish you a very happy Women's Day.
Hi, thanks a lot for having us over here. It was great talking to all of you and listening to each one's story. I'm sure there is a lot to learn and a lot for me to do. Thanks again, and a very happy International Women's Day to all of us.
Thank you so much, Divyanshi, for arranging this. Thank you, Leena. You took this at a different level. And thanks a lot to the other ladies who participated. It was a humbling experience and a lovely learning experience as well, as we shared our own experiences. Thanks a lot. And yes, happy Women's Day.
Happy Women's Day.
Happy Women's Day. Thank you, everybody, for joining and sharing your stories. I feel like I know you all so much better. And yeah, thank you so much for enriching this whole discussion. Thank you.